I'm about to expose myself so hard in this video. I know I'm gonna get low-key judged. People are gonna be like, Crystal, you're crazy. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I come to you with my glasses because it's about to get serious. Why am I like this? So recently I've been getting a lot of questions about money. Questions like, how much does OT school cost? How much did Columbia cost? Like, can I afford to go to OT school? So I'm gonna tell you. We're gonna have a little chat. We're gonna sip some tea. I have a feeling this video is going to be a little on the longer side just because I have a lot to say when it comes to talking about money. So grab a snack, get comfortable, maybe a little notebook to take down some notes, maybe a calculator. We're going to figure out life right now. I'm about to expose myself so hard in this video. I know I'm going to get low-key judged. People are going to be like, Crystal, you're crazy. But you know what? You say crazy, I say passionate. Just spilled some tea on myself. I need to clean this up. Anyway, I was watching this video that popped up on my YouTube feed from Career Watch. I'll link it down below for you guys to watch it. But basically it was talking about occupational therapy as a career, like what it is, what the salary is, like the job outlook, all that good stuff. You guys can check it out. Not now though. Watch this video first and then check it out. You know what? While you're at it, subscribe too. Trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So join the family. It's a good time. We learn a lot. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking before you click out. Anyway, I was watching this video and the guy was explaining how many people go into a substantial amount of debt to become occupational therapists. And in this video, it said that the average person who goes to OT school is around, wait for it, $180,000 in debt. That's US dollars, by the way. When I heard this number, I was shooketh because I realized I'm not alone. I am the average. I'm that statistic. All this time before I found this video, I was really out here like thinking to myself like, Crystal, like what did you do? But my guys, that's the average. So obviously, as you can tell, I feel a lot better about myself and my life decisions now that I know that I'm just in average debt. Like it's not even that much. It's just the average. Now, some of you guys are probably at this point in the video thinking to yourself, like, this girl crazy. $180,000 where? Like, why would you do that to yourself? And how? Like, where did that money go? Like, what are you paying for? Make it make sense. Well, I am here to tell you that I still haven't made sense of it. I still don't know where the money went, but I am going to break it down for you. I am going to give you exactly my loan breakdown, all that stuff to just show you where I went wrong. Now, this story starts way back when in undergrad. I told you, grab a snack. Like I mentioned in my last video, I am poor, so I qualified for something called EOF, and that basically put me through my 4 years of undergrad at like no cost practically. The only thing that I had to do was fill out the FAFSA, which if you don't know what that is basically like the federal application for student assist. Is that what it stands for? Hold on. I really thought. It stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. I thought I was going somewhere with that, but obviously not. But it's basically like the federal application for you to apply to receive like grants and loans. So I filled that out, and then I also had to fill out the HISA, which I think it's just a New Jersey thing. If you're going to New Jersey school, it's probably called something else in other states, or maybe it's called the same thing. I don't know. But I filled out the HISA, and then when I was applying to colleges, I just had to check the box in my applications that said like I would like to be considered for the EOF program. I don't know if those requirements still stand. This was 6 years ago when I applied to my undergrad. Maybe things have changed now, but that's all that I had to do to qualify. Being a part of this program was the ultimate blessing. I had my tuition paid for, I had my housing paid for, I had my books paid for, I had my meals paid for. So, you know, I was living, I was thriving, things were good in the undergrad world. Happy times. Fast forward to grad school. I filled out the FAFSA thinking I was gonna get some good aid because why not? Like, my parents' financial situation didn't change. My financial situation definitely didn't change. Like, things were pretty much the same. So I'm over here thinking like things are taken care of, like it's all good in the hood. It was not. I learned that you don't really get a lot of aid for grad school. There's not a lot of grants out there. There's not a lot of help out there. So I had to take out loans. Now, granted, I did go to Columbia, which is very expensive. The debt that I accumulated in those 2 years is probably the debt that the average OT student accumulates in 6 years. But we're gonna ignore that. We're gonna do an Elsa and we're gonna let it go. I did explain why I chose Columbia's program above the others, despite the higher cost in my graduation video. So you can check that out. It's probably not the explanation you're looking for, honestly, and it's probably not a very good explanation. But at the time, Columbia made sense to me. So I'm gonna break it down and show you exactly where my money went. And this is gonna be an eye-opening video for me too, because I'm still trying to figure out where my money went. So I'm gonna show you guys my bill. Here we go. Okay, so I just pulled up my fall semester bill and I'm just going to give you guys a breakdown of what like everything cost and why it costs. Actually, I can't explain why it costs this much, but I'm gonna show you like what they charge for what. So my opening balance was $750 because before going into OT school, I had to give them a deposit for them to hold my place, and now I remember the deposit was $750. I thought it was less, but yikes. So I gave them my deposit, but then that like gets subtracted from your bill. So I did get an OT scholarship from them, which was $5,000 per semester. And I don't know if it was based on need or merits. I never asked, but I got $5,000 a semester. So that helped me out a little bit. And then I took out $10,141 in federal direct unsubsidized loans. And then I took out, I'm kind of like really embarrassed of this number. I took out a lot for the Graduate Plus loan, but I will explain why. Let me just read what everything costs, because I'm pretty sure I took out the full amount for the Graduate Plus loan, and you really don't need the full amount. I could have lived without the full amount, but so they charged me a document fee. I don't know what that means. $105. I lived on campus. I lived in Bard Hall. If you guys want to check out a room tour, I will leave it up here. And when you live in Bard Hall, they automatically bill you for the semester. There's other types of graduate housing where it's like apartment style and you can pay your rent monthly, but Bard Hall, it's per semester. So living in Bard Hall was $4,160. Then I got charged a program fee, which was $1,500. The tuition for the occupational therapy program was $20,950. Then I was charged a CUMC IT tech fee, which I guess that's just like if I had any computer issues or I don't know. I've only been to IT once, but apparently it cost me $195. Then I had a health and related services fee, which was $712. Only went there once as well. That is it. That is it for the fall semester. So this doesn't take into account like the books that you have to buy or the food that you have to buy, because living in Bard Hall, you don't have your own kitchen. If you want to cook something, you have to travel to the 14th floor. And sometimes I was just lazy and I didn't want to like take all my pots and pans and my stuff in a bag and then I sound so lazy right now. There were times where I did cook. I did meal prep for a long time, so I only had to cook once a week and then I would have my meals for the week. But there were also days where I felt very, very lazy. And y'all know I love my Chipotle. I think Chipotle should sponsor me because I am Chipotle's #1 fan. Days I didn't feel like cooking or the weeks I didn't meal prep, Chipotle it was. And all that stuff adds up. And then mind you, I was also living in New York City, one of the most expensive places to live in the world. So the point is, I needed money and I didn't know exactly how much money I would need. So I did take out the full amount in Graduate Plus loans. Honestly, looking back, I didn't have to. I definitely shouldn't have, but you know what? I was living life, guys. I was going on Broadway shows. I was going out to eat with friends. Hashtag no regrets. Maybe I'll regret it when I start paying my loans, but for now, I was thriving. But living in New York City is dumb expensive. If you guys want a separate video of me like showing you what I spent in a week in New York City, I've seen some videos out there, but if you guys want to hear from my experience as a grad student, let me know and I'll be happy to film that for you. But I'm mostly sharing this with you guys and making this video to let you guys know that this does not have to be you. You can be smarter about it. Please be smarter about it. I did say that there isn't a lot of aid out there for grad school, but just because there isn't a lot doesn't mean that there isn't at all. There are, you just have to dig deep to find them. And I don't know what I was doing at the time. But you know, I'm not gonna drag myself too hard. I did look for scholarships. I wasn't looking deep enough. I did find some, but I felt like they came with too many strings. Like, for example, the DOE scholarship. I don't know if that's just a New York thing, but the DOE scholarship, I actually know a couple people in my program who are on it, but it basically pays for your tuition. But the catch is that you have to work in the New York school systems for 6 years once you graduate. And I didn't want to do that. And I have no problem with working in the school system. Like, honestly, I always tell myself that once I start having kids, I'll probably end up in the school system for a couple of years just because the hours and like time off is flexible. But for right now, like my real passion is in the hospital setting. Like that's just where I see myself being the most. And that's kind of always where I saw myself going into OT school too, whether it was like peds or adults. I always saw myself working in a hospital setting, starting off at least. But that's why I didn't apply to that one. And that's why I probably missed out on a couple scholarships because they had like these strings attached. But I did apply for work study. I did have a job my first semester of OT school. I was actually doing research for one of the faculty, but then I ended up quitting because the job just like mathematically just didn't make sense to me in terms of like what I was getting paid and the time that I was putting into it. Like I didn't see it. Like you have to put in multiple hours into this research and it took a lot of study time away from me, but probably would have kept doing it if I felt like it was actually helping me out financially. But the thing with work study is that like you can only make a certain amount of money per semester, and like once you reach that cap, like you can't work any more hours. I don't know if I'm explaining this right or if it's making sense to you guys, but basically like it wasn't adding up in my head, and I'm just like, you know what, like I'm just gonna live off my loans because I'm just trying to graduate at the end of the day, and if this is taken away from my study time, then it might take away from me graduating on time, and we don't want that. So I quit. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. I'm assuming that you guys are thinking a lot in this video, but I know what you guys are thinking. Crystal, why would you do that? Why would you put yourself in so much debt for a career where your starting salary is probably less than half of what your debt is? And to that, my friend, I answer, I'm just passionate about what I do. Going back in time, I probably would have been smarter about it. I probably would have looked for more scholarships. I probably wouldn't have taken out as much loans as I did. But the truth is that if I absolutely had to take out all of those loans again to become an OT, I 100% would do it again. No questions asked. I wouldn't even think twice about it. Now, the good thing though is because I feel like I've been spitting out a lot of negativity in this video. Things have been sounding pretty grim. The good news is if you do decide to become an OT, you are set for life in terms of career stability. This career ain't going nowhere anytime soon. Quite the opposite. It's actually growing and more jobs are becoming available. Statistics show that we should be seeing a 25% increase within the next 10 years. Unemployment has been less than 2% over the past years, which is pretty amazing. I think OT is actually known to have one of the least unemployment rates, and the salary ain't that bad, y'all. The national average is around $85,000. You're probably not going to be rich being an OT, but again, like, that's not the reason most people go into it. It's a lot of hard work, but you can live comfortably off an OT salary, and honestly, that's my goal. I don't need a lot. I'm just trying to live comfortably and do some good in the world, and that's the tea. That is the tea from me. Actually finished. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it helped. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next week.